Kris Kristofferson, the beloved actor, singer, and songwriter who left an indelible mark on both Hollywood and the world of country music, has died at the age of 88. Known for his gravelly voice, soulful songwriting, and a career that spanned over 6 decades, Kristofferson was a true Renaissance man who blended artistic expression with raw authenticity. His songs resonated with generations, weaving stories of heartbreak, redemption, and life struggles. A representative for the star confirmed that Kristofferson passed away peacefully at his home in Maui on Saturday, September 28, surrounded by his family. In a heartfelt statement shared with People, the Kristofferson family expressed their deep sense of loss. "It is with a heavy heart that we share the news our husband/father/grandfather, Kris Kristofferson, passed away peacefully on Saturday, September 28 at home. We're all so blessed for our time with him. Thank you for loving him all these many years, and when you see a rainbow, know he's smiling down at us all." The sentiment beautifully captured the family's deep bond with the man whose creativity and talent brought joy to so many around the world. Kristofferson's journey from a Texas-born boy to a country music icon and award-winning actor is as remarkable as the songs he wrote. Born on June 22, 1936, in Brownsville, Texas, to Mary Ann née Ashbrook and Lars Henry Kristofferson, Kris was raised in a military household. His father, a first-generation Swedish immigrant, was an officer in the U.S. Army Air Corps and later became a general in the U.S. Air Force. Growing up in this disciplined environment, young Kristofferson often found himself moving from place to place, following his father's career. This upbringing fostered a deep sense of duty, but it also instilled in him a love for storytelling and music. Kristofferson's first foray into music came early. In an interview with NPR in 2013, he recalled how, at just 11 years old, he penned his first song titled "I Hate Your Ugly Face." While this crude little song was a far cry from the sophisticated compositions he would later become famous for, it showcased the budding talent of a young boy who was already beginning to mold his feelings into melodies. The military lifestyle didn't stifle his creativity. Instead, it provided Kristofferson with a unique perspective on life, one that would eventually fuel his songwriting. His teenage years saw the Kristofferson family settle in San Mateo, California, a place where Kris began to explore his creative side more deeply. Per his official website, Kristofferson's literary talent emerged early. The tender age of 18, he had 2 short stories published in Atlantic Monthly, Gone Are the Days and The Rock. This early success in writing foreshadowed his later achievements as a songwriter, demonstrating his knack for capturing human experiences in a way that resonated with readers and listeners alike. In 1954, Kristofferson enrolled at Pomona College in California, where he excelled academically and athletically. His list of accomplishments was nothing short of extraordinary. A gifted football player and a Golden Gloves boxer, Kristofferson was the embodiment of both brains and brawn. He served as the sports editor for the school paper and, by his senior year in 1958, he had earned a spot on the cover of Sports Illustrated in their Faces in the Crowd issue. It was clear that this was a man who could excel in any endeavor he set his mind to. But Kristofferson's ambitions stretched beyond the world of sports. Through graduating from Pomona with a degree in creative writing, he was awarded a Rhodes Scholarship, one of the most prestigious academic honors in the world. With this scholarship in hand, he traveled to England to study English literature at Oxford University's Merton College, where he earned a master's degree in 1960. His time at Oxford broadened his horizons and deepened his love for storytelling, but it also planted the seeds of a conflict that would define much of his early adult life: the tension between fulfilling his family's expectations and pursuing his own passions. Upon returning to the United States, Kristofferson faced pressure from his parents to follow a path of duty and service by joining the military. His parents, especially his father, were adamant that Kris should uphold the family's military tradition, and so he did. After completing his education, Kristofferson enlisted in the U.S. Army. In just 5 years, he rose through the ranks to become a helicopter pilot and achieved the rank of captain. He served in West Germany during the early 1960s, a period that coincided with his growing passion for music. Despite the demands of his military career, Kristofferson found solace and joy in songwriting, often collaborating with other soldiers to form a band. This creative outlet kept him grounded and connected to the artistic side of himself that had been cultivated throughout his childhood and college years. As his time in the military came to an end, Kristofferson faced a critical decision. In a move that would have a profound impact on his life, he turned down a prestigious opportunity to teach English at West Point Military Academy. Instead, he chose to pursue a career in music, a decision that bewildered his family, particularly his father, who couldn't understand why Kris would abandon the military for what seemed like a frivolous passion. But Kristofferson was undeterred. With the courage of conviction and a deep desire to follow his heart, he resigned from the Army in 1965 and set his sights on Nashville, Tennessee, the heart of the country music scene. Reflecting on his decision to leave the military and move to Nashville, Kristofferson told Clash in a 2010 interview, "I just fell in love with the music community that was going on there. The way the old heroes helped out the new guys. It was a very soulful business at the time. I don't know if it's anything like that now, but it was definitely the best move I've ever made." Indeed, it was in Nashville that Kristofferson found not only his artistic community but also his calling. He threw himself into songwriting, determined to make a name for himself in the city where legends were made. While trying to break into the industry, Kristofferson worked a series of odd jobs to make ends meet, including a stint as a night janitor at Columbia Studios. It was during these long, solitary hours that Kristofferson crafted some of the songs that would later become iconic. Among them were For the Good Times and Sunday Morning Comin' Down, both of which would go on to achieve enormous success. For the Good Times, originally recorded by singer Bill Nash in 1968, failed to gain much attention initially. However, when country legend Ray Price released his version of the song in June 1970, it became a massive hit, catapulting Kristofferson into the spotlight. The song's poignant lyrics about love, loss, and nostalgia resonated deeply with listeners, earning it a Grammy nomination for Best Country Song in 1972. The song's reach extended beyond country music, as it was famously covered by soul icon Al Green, demonstrating Kristofferson's ability to cross musical genres and appeal to a wide audience. Another standout track from Kristofferson's early songwriting career was Sunday Morning Comin' Down. Recorded for his debut album, the song captured the attention of country star Ray Stevens, who included it on his 1969 album. But it was Johnny Cash's rendition that cemented the song's place in country music history. Cash performed the song live on The Johnny Cash Show, and his version went on to win Song of the Year at the Country Music Association Awards in 1970. Track also hit No. 1 on Billboard's country music chart, further solidifying Kristofferson's status as one of the most promising songwriters of his generation. From there, Kristofferson's career only continued to soar. His songwriting prowess earned him the admiration of his peers and the adoration of fans. He wrote songs for some of the biggest names in country music, including Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Rita Coolidge, whom he later married. Together with Jennings, Nelson, and Johnny Cash, Kristofferson formed the country music supergroup The Highwaymen, a collaboration that produced some of the most memorable and beloved songs in the genre's history. Kristofferson's transition from songwriter to performer was seamless, as his gruff voice and rugged persona made him a natural fit for the country music scene of the 1970s. His self-titled debut album, released in 1970, featured many of the songs that had made him famous as a songwriter, including Me and Bobby McGee, which would later be covered by Janis Joplin in what became one of her most iconic performances.